Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today is a Matt's movie review. So the film we're going to be reviewing today is a new film that's popped up on Amazon Prime, and it's called Mindcage. Now it stars John Malkovich. He's been in a lot of different films. Martin Lawrence, he's been in Bad Boys. That's probably his most famous role, but he's been in other roles. And Melissa Roxburgh, she was in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, if you've seen that. She did play like an ensign in Star Trek Beyond. And I believe she was in the Supernatural series that ran as well. Okay, so Detective Jake Doyle and Mary Kelly seek the help of an incarcerated serial killer named The Artist, and this is played by John Malkovich, when a copycat strikes. So it's a 2022 film, and it's directed by Mario Borelli, and it was released on the 16th of December 2022, and it was produced by Daniel Gronick. Now the Rotten Tomato score on this is only 20%, so it's pretty low, but we'll get into my thoughts as we go through the film. So basically the film is about, as I say, a copycat killer. Very much his victims are women that are kind of drugged and then given this sort of, well, basically something that kills them, and they are turned into like a religious sort of statue, as it were. Yeah, it's very sort of unusual, not seen this sort of thing before. I guess you could kind of say it maybe had a little bit of a Seven feel about it, because obviously that dealt with the 7 deadly sins. But this is very much about sort of just showing these almost like religious sort of, I don't know what you'd say, the sort of statues with sort of wings, gold wings and this kind of thing. Very eerie, very unusual sort of, yeah, way to sort of, sort of dispose of people. Yeah, odd. And so, there's several sort of deaths that happen, and obviously the 2 cops come in to solve, or try to solve the mystery. It's obviously a copycat killing, and obviously the artist, played by John Malkovich, he's on kind of death row, so they get in touch with him and are keen to sort of try and see if he can help them sort of catch the killer. So we kind of get a little bit of a backstory as to why he is the way he is, and it sort of goes back in time, and you see him as a young boy, and his mother is kind of sort of a lady of the night, shall we say, and often has men round, and obviously they pay her for her services, shall we say. And it shows a scene where he's kind of locked away in a cupboard, but he's very much into drawing, and he's got like this religious book, and you can see that he's drawing these sort of religious sort of images. Anyway, when his mother's finished sort of her sort of business, shall we say, she gets the young lad out of the cupboard, and she's quite annoyed with him, and rips up all his his pictures and sort of throws him to the floor, and unfortunately he hits his head, which causes like a condition which puts him in a wheelchair for a couple of years, and it kind of has a knock-on effect, obviously a brain injury, and it kind of makes him the way he is, obviously, killing these victims earlier sort of in his life. And Martin Lawrence's character is actually the cop that actually has captured him and put him in prison. So he's obviously got some sort of connection there in the first place. And obviously the other cop, she's come into it and she's very much leading the case. And so as we go on through the movie, we very much sort of see her going into the prison and sort of talking to this artist, and he's kind of making sort of certain demands that he wants to be taken off of death row, and he wants sort of all his painting, drawing equipment back in his cell. And it very much plays out like Silence of the Lambs. It has that kind of feel about it, where he is giving her so much information in exchange for what he wants. And he also talks to her about her life and sort of what she's going through. And it very much has that sort of Silence of the Lambs kind of feel to it that you got from that film. You know, very much the sort of, obviously in that film is an FBI agent against Hannibal Lecter. In this, obviously, it's cop v sort of serial killer. So it's, yeah, very, very similar. So I quite like that aspect of it. It was nice to see a return to that. I mean, obviously, Silence of the Lambs was many, many years ago. So yeah, it was nice that they kind of used that as a sort of, I suppose, a template to use in this film. Now, we also discover that sort of Martin Lawrence's character, he's quite a troubled individual. I think he's been very much affected by the events of sort of capturing this guy in the past, and you can see that there's sort of a lot of trouble in his mind, and he's kind of sort of looking towards religion himself. And Mary, she is married to I think he's probably an ex-priest. He's certainly not a man of the cloth anymore, but he's still very much a religious person. And you can see there's kind of trouble in their marriage. Something's not quite right. So yeah, there's sort of a few characters in it that you kind of suspect that may be involved in this copycat sort of killing. There's also another man that's at the prison who's kind of like a doctor, and he is sort of looking after this artist who has these seizures now and again because of this brain condition that he sort of had when he, well, was caused by this injury as a child. So he's a little bit of an odd character. So there's a few people in it that you're thinking, well, could it be this person? Could it be that person? Yeah, it kind of keeps you guessing towards the end of the film. Now, I'm not going to give spoilers away because it's quite a new film that's just sort of come onto Amazon. But I will say that I was a bit disappointed with the end of this. I got towards the end of it and I was feeling it was well done. It kept you guessing, and then the ending sort of came and the reveal of who the killer was, and I felt a little bit, yeah, it was a bit sort of like, oh, that's came out of nowhere, and yeah, it just felt a little bit shoehorned in, if you ask me, and very convenient the way that they did it, and yeah, it was a bit disappointing, really. I don't want to go into spoilers because you need to see the film. It's certainly worth a watch. I think a 20% score on Rotten Tomatoes is a bit mean. I'd certainly, if I was rating this out of 10, I would certainly give it a 5 or a 6. But an interesting idea, different, you know, that serial sort of killer vibe about it, and the way that the victims were presented to the police was a bit different, a bit unusual. But I'm afraid the execution, the ending of the story and who the killer was, yeah, kind of felt a little bit, yeah, that's okay, but it just felt very convenient for me. But there we go. So anyway, I'd recommend you watching Mindcage. It is available on Amazon Prime. if you are a Prime subscriber. Definitely worth checking it out. So yeah, as I say, it's worth checking out as a one-time watch, if you ask me. Okay, well, thanks for watching the video. If you're new to the channel and you like these sorts of movie reviews, I do them occasionally. I don't do them all the time, just when I feel like I watched the film and it's piqued my interest. So yeah, keep a lookout for the occasional review on my channel. Please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you'll be informed when I upload a new video like this. I also do unboxings, and I show the additions in my collection, physical media. So I just dabble in sort of reviews every now and again. Please leave a comment down below. Have you seen this film? What did you think of it? Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm over there and I post pictures from time to time. So yeah, go and find me over there as well. Right guys, well that's the end of the review. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye now.